Good morning, everyone. Today we are with Ms Rene Baartman. She is the Office Manager for SAFECITIES as well as the Team Leader for the Wellness and Women Empowerment Program. So, Ms Rene, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became involved with the Wellness and Women Empowerment Program?
Nicola was born in a township area called Bishop Labers. I am the eldest of three. I've got 3 kids of my own. I'm divorced. I've got around about 10 grandkids. And so my life is full of life. And after high school, actually, I went into the insurance industry. I basically spent all my working years, more than 30 years, in the industry, but I've always had a longing to basically serve the community on a social development level. And living on the AFC premises, seeing the Safe City staff every day, has literally enhanced that desire within me. And that is how I eventually started working for Safe Cities.
So, can you tell us a little bit about the Wellness and Women Empowerment Program? What are the missions? What are the goals within this program?
The Wellness and Women Empowerment Program, the mission of the total program is to enhance women and to create an awakening for the fact that we can be more than we see ourselves. It is also based on the fact that we have these inherited thought patterns within our communities. And a lot of our women suffer through these inherited thought patterns because it keeps us bound. And it's a total constraint within the community. So what the Women and Wellness the Wellness and Women program really does, it is basically create an awareness of these constraints and seek practical solutions to free especially women from these inherited thought patterns and basically bring them into the realization that there is light at the end of the tunnel. You don't have to accept life as it is. So the goal in actual fact is to give an individual empowerment to the woman to say, listen, you can be whoever you choose to be.
So then, can you share maybe a few stories or even like a few examples of how the program has empowered women to take control of their own lives?
One of the ladies sat in one of our sessions and she didn't have her dentures in. And we were doing self-awareness. At the end of the session, she said, next time I'm going to put my dentures in. And I mean, that meant a lot because now all of a sudden there's an awareness of who she really is. We have examples of where I once asked one of the men, I would just like to know, why do you attend the program? Because we have around about 4 to 5 men that do attend. And the guy said to me, so that I can understand the women in my life better. We had ladies coming with scarves. We had ladies coming with their overalls, with their slippers, and changing, seeing that change within them. After a few weeks, you see the hairs all blown out. You see the dress code has changed. You literally see the way they behave and by the way they carry themselves. Everything seems to change. They interact with one another instead of just looking from the door and aiming for a seat. Now they start talking, they start chatting, they start opening up. So to see all of those things are quite heartening.
So obviously the woman with the dentures, she realized she wants to make herself look good.
Yeah.
And obviously, so how does the program support them in building confidence and self-esteem?
We do, in the program, we do topics like mindfulness. How aware are you of your surroundings? Self-awareness, how aware are you of yourself, your inner self, self-care, obviously taking care of yourself. We look at programs, topics like identity. So in doing all of these topics with the women, we basically help them see the difference between self-awareness and self-esteem, because it's not the same thing. Because if you are aware of who you are, you learn to not accept the person in the mirror, but try to work on the person you have in your mind and change the person in the mirror to the person you want to be. So these programs, the program and the sessions that we do have, do change people, because they literally, we hear testimonies every day. There are women who actually went back to studying after sitting in a few of our sessions.
Oh wow. I know you mentioned that since coming to the program, the women are more engaged with each other.
Yeah.
So then, what role do you think community and sisterhood play in the empowerment process?
You know, women, we love to chat, and we always have a lot to say. So getting together, hearing each other's stories, we actually teach each other through our own experience on how to handle matters in our own homes, how to deal with the men in our lives, the children in our lives. We learn to deal with ourselves overall, and we get to the enlightenment that everything starts with you. If you change, everything else around you is bound to change.
So then you would say that the participation is what makes the program a success, basically.
That is true.
Good. So then, if there are any challenges that you face, what are some of the challenges you face within this program? And how do you overcome them, or how do you address them?
Challenges that we have within the program at times would be where somebody comes to the program, they've been invited by a friend or they've received a flyer. They would basically just come in and look around and have no expectation of anything, and listen to people's stories, and they say, ooh, you talk about that, I don't want to talk about that. But to get that person to participate, sometimes we need to do icebreakers, we need to do extra activities to get the person to talk more. Remember, their names are very important, because if you remember the name, obviously the person knows that you're taking note of them. We can't really say that we have had enormous challenges, because due to the fact that we are an established family, when you get in here, you know who you are.
Yeah. So you mentioned that a few topics is confidence, self-esteem, self-identity. What else, like, what vision do you have for the future for this program? What more do you want from the program?
Currently, we are working on five ladies that participate in the program. We basically do self-development with them, where we do stuff like self-pressure, setting boundaries, making your own choices, where we are basically developing them into becoming part of the program in itself when it comes to presenting, facilitating, assisting us with food distribution. So we have five ladies that we are currently training, but we intend to train more and more people to become more active, not just within the program, but in the whole of Safe Cities, where our help is needed.
So you want more people to join.
Yeah.
How can they get involved with the program?
We have the program running every Thursday from 11 to 1. Anybody can feel free to attend. There is no basically restriction. Male and female can attend, obviously. Our youngest participant is around about 22 years old. So the young people do get the message at the end of the day when they start coming that certain things are important. And I believe there are even some of them who are literally busy making plans for their future, setting certain goals. So every Thursday morning, this is where we are at the Safe Cities.
There you heard it, guys. Come to the Wellness and Women Empowerment Program to learn more about yourself, learn how to be confident, how to set boundaries, and just take control of your life. So make sure you attend, and thank you very much, Ms Rene Baartman. Thank you for your time, and I hope you have a very blessed day.
Thank you for having me.